Our PoE playthrough. We're on Act 8. We got some newer items that we're going to go and mess around with, and I want to show you guys some mechanics. So I went and purchased some items just in case everyone wanted to check. Like, you know, I did actually purchase these like right now, but just because people don't respond, we did it this way where I bought the item and I'll just tell you how much I paid for it. So I bought this for 1 chaos. I bought this for 1 orb of alchemy, and just for like references of what those look like. The alchemy is like the cheaper like currency that you can just use 1 of and get like a lot of cheaper uniques. And then the chaos orb is the more expensive one. So we got this and this for 1 chaos. So the helmet over here is going to significantly increase our damage. We're going to have another 100% crit strike multiplier and a bunch of extra bonus physical damage. But in return, we will be taking 45% increased physical damage. Ideally, you want to roll this as low as possible. However, I only just wanted to spend a low amount, so this is what we have for now. Usually, I'll get like a 40 if I'm going to try to get it, but it would cost more. And I'm still going to make sure that I make it still budget-friendly for you guys right now, so you guys don't feel like out of touch with it, just in case if you guys want to try to follow what I'm buying. So if you don't have the currency, remember, you can always use your other currency like the chromatic orbs like these, and we're going to actually start crafting a little bit in this part for our items. So you'll see that this over here, it doesn't have any quality. I want to quality this up before modifying it, and we're just going to give it more quality. That's going to give it additional armor, and you can only go up to 20, so basically you sit there and just spam it, and then it'll go all the way to the top. And I'm going to now use a jeweler's orb. So I'm going to reforge the number of sockets on that. So right now it only has 1 red socket. And if I click on it, it'll have 2. If I click on it again, it'll have 3. It's just kind of random. We got 4. That's max. That's all we needed. Now what I would like to do, ideally, is have these in a very specific link. So I'm going to take this orb of fusing, and I'm going to try just 2 times on it. Otherwise, it's just not really worth it. 1, 2. Okay, I lied. I'm going 3 times. Okay, there we go. Now what I want to do is I want these ideally to be to have 2 red and 1 green. So I'm going to, and those have, there we go. First try, dude, that streamer's luck is real. All right, so if I have Fortify somewhere, I'm going to now add Fortify, because this way we'll be taking some damage reduction. Do I have Fortify in here? Oh, it's in my inventory. Okay, so Fortify right here. Oh, also I should mention this. I probably should mention this in the very beginning. If you go to options and then go to UI, there is one thing that I should have mentioned at the very beginning, honestly, but it's okay. We're mentioning it now. The most important thing is there is an option on the always show sockets. Make sure that this is checked in if you want this, because I like it personally. If you see your items that look like this, it makes it like much more, I don't know if it's on by default at this point in the game, but I just know that I do have that enabled. But now that we've got some of our items here, I'm going to throw this Fortify support in, and this is for Leap Slam. So now I'm going to have faster attacks with my Leap Slam in addition with Fortify. What Fortify allows me to do is it grants it more damage, but the most important thing is it grants Fortify on melee hit. Fortify is a buff that reduces our damage taken. Since we're going to be taking a massive amount of damage, I'm going to try to mitigate it with some other tools. And I'm trying to stick with uniques because, again, it makes it easier, but the boots don't really matter here, as I'll explain what our boots do. I'm also going to go and swap the Herald of Ash, put this over here, and let's see, Blood Rage goes over here, and we still have Herald of Purity, which we will find some place for it. I'm actually going to swap it over here. So now that we've swapped our helms, I still need to put this in somewhere, and we'll try to figure a place for that. And now we will actually try to get this to have this one. It's got a higher chance to actually have. We need 2 reds, which actually I can put 1 red in here, and Herald of Purity can actually go in here and it's perfectly fine. Actually, I don't even need to modify it. I was going to modify it, but there's no point actually. So we'll keep it there since I already showed off the mechanic. And that was kind of one thing I wanted to do. Since I will be taking a significant amount of more physical damage, I went and grabbed this item because it's super cheap. It's 1 Ankh. It's called Moral Flesh. It gives you a massive amount of life regen. The downside is you get negative resistances with it, but I have enough resistance to buffer it right now, so I'm okay. I really want to swap out this belt like a long time ago, and now is like a good time. But this granted me some extra cold res, so we're going to swap out these boots, and we're going to go throw Righteous Fire back in here and just kind of swap out where the gems were. And we're going to run these boots. Now, these boots, what they do is just grant us life. That's life, movement speed, and then we needed a little bit more cold resist since we swapped out this belt, which granted us some cold res. So now that's done. And finally, last but not least, I want to show off the scouring orb, kind of how it works, because we can maybe get some kind of cool off this. So this is another 2-stone ring, but you'll see that it says item level 60, and this is item level 28. I'm sorry, it requires level 20, item level 41, and item level 30. Depending on the item level of the item, you can get more modifiers or certain higher numbers. I'm also going to try to, let's see, increase cold damage, minions. All right. None of these essences are actually good for it. I can use one Ankh, it's not that big of a deal. So what I'm going to do is scour it. So you can see right now it's in blue. It grants us the extra intelligence and energy shield. I don't want any of that. I'm going to go make it completely white. All it has is that cold lightning resist. Now I'm going to go get an Orb of Alchemy and put it in here. And bam! Let's see if we got something that's better. We have Fire Res, Lightning Res. That's actually a pretty decent amount of things here. This adds 1 to 2 physical damage, so I do like it for that. This, what am I using this for? Cold damage doesn't matter. 64 to life is actually good. Unfortunately, I didn't really roll too good. Ideally, you'd want life. I can go buy one of these. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I just wanted to show you guys. The most important thing was just showing you guys the mechanics of like some of these other forms of item modification. But let's go and throw these some other things in here, and then we will indeed continue. So at the start of Act 8, we'll just go talk to everyone in town.
Good luck.
There we go. So we have to go kill Dodri in the sewers. But remember, this is Act 3, but in the future. So things have changed up a bit. You can see we can go right to the sewers from here. And now we actually have that huge bonus. Let me reactivate my buffs as I kind of moved around the gems at some point. And you'll see we're going to do a massive amount of damage now. Our damage is going to just go out of control. Should be like one-shotting most of these things here. Especially since once we build up our rage, it's... I don't know if you guys can tell it's faster, but it is definitely faster. And that includes, even with our little whirlwind cyclone, that's also going to be a significant increase in the damage department. Oh, we'll do a couple of these. So we've been kind of skipping out on them. But to answer your question, I'm not making a cyclone build. I mean, I'm using cyclone for now because it's just one of the best skills in the game for melee. It's just like so strong. But it's going to be flicker slash cyclone, I would say, because flicker strike isn't the greatest for bosses. Let's see, just a map. Let me regen life for a second. It doesn't really matter. There's nothing really that excited me over there before. Later we'll upgrade the loot filter, or basically we make it show less items. The rituals have been insane for you. It's good to hear, man. I do like the mechanic. I just wish that you could start as soon as like I go up to it. I wish I could just start it versus like killing the enemies and then starting the ritual. Just feels a little bit unnecessary to me. We'll actually get cast when damage taken pretty soon too. What do we have? Actually, I gotta remember not to click on any of them until like the very end. It's just like I just want to like see what we can get. I think it's natural instinct to see what you can get, but in this instance, I'm gonna grab this. Got by the mouse. Push the valve. So she'll throw a bunch of stuff on the ground. You can hit the valve so it clears it up. Okay. Well, that was fast.
Remember, humanity.
All right.
Don't do anything I would.
We get another 2 stone ring over here. They all roll, I guess, perfect. You can also see what the item level is, but I'm pretty sure at this point it's going to always show exactly what we want. And actually, I wanted to focus on fire and cold resistances, so let's see if we can get something better. Extra ints, nothing here. Talk to Clarissa.
Watch yourself.
You have to find the Ankh. Go to
Be well.
talk to all of them. And now we are going to go collect the moon and the sun orb, as that's a pretty big part of it. The next thing we can also do is Love is Dead. We're going to do this quest as it will grant us a skill point. And this area is another one of these areas or quests where I really feel like it needs a rework, because a lot of people look this up as when I first encountered this quest. You have to get to an area where like it tells you to go to one area, but it's just, it says like the Quay or something like that, and like you get one of the, like you have to search for the Ankh. Okay, so yeah, you do get the Ankh over here. It's not wrong on this part. But you see when we do Fortify, we have this buff now. We take less damage. It's because I added a bunch of more damage, but there was a downside. But like I said, you can see that we're just doing so much damage now. And it's super smooth. That's the thing with Flicker Strike. You need to get enough damage, otherwise if you're not one-shotting everything, it just feels bad. You think they did an update? Yeah, I'm pretty sure actually, like, this league, it seems like it's taking a lot longer. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm doing the like league mechanic too, but I definitely feel like some of the areas might be a little bit larger. So it says find Clarissa at the Quay. You actually don't find her in the Quay. You actually go to a separate area. This is again, this is the quest I was mentioning, where if you didn't have like a guide or someone to tell you, you might just be completely lost. Stone picking up, as eventually we will be able to make our skills costs negative energy, which doesn't actually give you like mana when you use your skill. It just makes it cost 0. Just destroyed everything. We're at 10k right now, it's not too bad. So it's called the Grain Gate. This is where you actually need to go. Even though it tells you to find Clarissa at the Quay. Wait, I lied, it's not this one. We'll grab the waypoint for this one. It's somewhere else. Yeah, okay. Might be a side path or something, but I just know that it's not right here. Well, it's not in the Quay. It's a side area in the Quay, but you still warp in, and that's why I was confused, because for the longest time on this quest, I mean, it says find Clarissa at the Quay. I mean, logically you would think that, okay, it must be in this area. So, ooh, we got a contract. Here we go. It should be this area. It is called Resurrection Site. So this is her BF. She's been keeping him here. It almost reminds me of the Hadric story if you guys play Diablo. Does Leap and Cyclone need a weapon, or can you use unarmed? I believe Leap does, but I believe Cyclone, I think you can use unarmed Cyclone. I want to say yeah, you should be able to, as I'm pretty sure there's Phrase Breaker builds with it. I mean, if you mouse over the skill, like Cyclone, it's just melee physical. I don't think it requires a very specific weapon. But Leap Slam requires certain weapon types. You can't use, like, you can't Leap Slam with wands. She's very sad because we had to kill him. And then we'll get a skill point. Actually, we should do this, because this will be faster. Yeah, our DPS is just... It's real nice now. And it's still not done. We're going to get more damage, too.
Be careful.
So should you grant us this book? Because remember, we're actually going to grab another Frenzy Charge. And I do want to get Cloth and Chain. Again, the reason why is because you can get really good items that have no resistances for way cheaper. I don't really care about the crit strike multiplier as much as I want the chance. And the next level is our big boy point. It's the 50% critical strike chance. But we just threw in another 40, so it's another 90% critical strike chance. Which is going to be really nice. And we'll go and... So that's the very first quest. There's 2 more quests. So the Gemling, okay. So we're gonna do this one as well. This one will grant us another skill point. Later at the end though, don't worry if you forget to do some of these. I will have a way to show you how to check on which ones you have and have not done. I love Rampage though. It's a really cool like mechanic, and I feel like it should just be like in the game, but I know it's like it's a league mechanic. Oh, when I notice like things aren't dying instantly, I'm gonna stop moving because I know exactly what's happening. It's a desync. It happens a lot with the skill when you have too much attack speed. The game just can't keep up. Unless you do enough damage. If you do enough damage, since the thing will die, it makes it easier for the server. Alright, do we have anything cool? Loctonial Caresses. I think we, actually, I keep on forgetting to not look at the thing. You know what I'm just gonna do? I'm just gonna grab this and we're gonna move on. Oh. Also, if I leap and I don't see Fortify come up, that's another way you can tell that there is some lag. It's just with the skill, like it's specifically with Flicker Strike. And like what I always find strange is Flicker's like, it's very rare I feel like for it to be like one of the best skills in the game. It's just the way that it works because you need to put melee splash on it, and that's like almost a wasted gem slot for a lot of abilities. Like you need melee splash on. No. Cyclone? No. Cyclone hits really hard. It activates really fast. It's considered a channel ability, and it's a melee skill. It's just... I still say Cyclone is still one of the best. And it's like a fan favorite too, so that's cool. Like everyone really likes Whirlwind in Diablo, right? I feel like a lot of people that at least play Diablo really did enjoy Whirlwind. I mean, it's a cool idea. You spin around and you just delete everything. Oh, we didn't find the Gemling. We gotta go back. Golems buff you and enemies can target them. Oh, wait, you're saying like you want to make a Golem Cyclone build? You can, I mean, like I said, with Path of Exile, anything is pretty much doable, but is it going to be the best? Debatable. Because usually you would basically have minion damage if you wanted a Golem build, but there is one node in the game where, I don't know if it only applies to zombies. I actually got it before. I think it's called Minion something. It's over here. Spiritual Aid increases and reductions to minion damage also affect you. Yeah, I played that one league with my Necromancer and it was so much fun. Like I was doing damage, my minions were doing damage. It's fun. I think like, because a lot of people always ask for a playthrough like, what's the most fun build to play? And like, you know, that's subjective, but for me, I still think the Necromancer Spellslinger build is the most enjoyable. You basically get to have an army. You also get the node where your minions deal damage and you deal damage. Dude, I like one-shotted that like quest. What's this one up here? Oh, we have to go here anyway, so we'll continue. Since that's a really big node, I actually do want to go back into town. and grab it because that's a massive amount of bonus.
Why are you still standing there?
Okay. Big node. Bam. And then now we're going to focus in on getting cloth and chain and that savagery. And we'll start pathing out and grabbing some extra what are called frenzy charges. Because right now, default, all the charges on pretty much everything at the start are 3. Like the frenzy, endurance, and the power charge, which we get from this. But the flicker strike charges are the only one that really matters, the frenzy ones. So usually we'll get this one, like this is no brainer. This one over here, we can get intuitive leap and grab a lot of really nice nodes. We can also grab this one, which grants us some extra evasion and 8 to all allies. It's pretty nice, and it grants you the +1 to cold, and then the 3% chance to evade attacks. And there is another one right here, which we don't always have to get this one, but I will definitely grab this, as I like to hybrid it out. And then pretty much after that, we can start getting impale damage. Or more impale chance. Guys, I do want that. Impale is really easy to max out too. You can get to 90 very, very easy. Without even using like the impale gem, but like obviously you want that in there. So with the impale gem, it's like Impale Gem Banner, and there's like 2 little sections on the tree, which also overwhelm physical penetration. So you get to like kind of ignore some of their resistances. Alright, here we go. The Imperial Fiends. 8 golems is max. I actually don't know off the top of my head. I'm sure if you go type it in PoE Wiki, it'll tell you. If you just type in golem, it'll tell you exactly what grants you an extra golem. Oh, there we go. So these markers are kind of another form of currency for another mechanic, which we'll show off later. Oh, no damage. Alright. A lot of gems that can level up. The other ones probably require intelligence, and we just don't have the int to do it. Ooh, another node. Oops. I just wanted to pick up the jeweler orb. Didn't actually want to start it, but it's okay. It's no biggie. Just clean it up real fast. Alright, what do we got for reward? Nothing good showed up. I feel like taking these are like a waste. Let's see if there's another one. If not, we'll just grab that and peace. Now we go to Solaris Temple, we go to Lunaris Temple, we get these items, and we're going to find a really cool looking boss. And then if we have like some extra time for this part of our playthrough, because the rest of the acts I would say are a little bit shorter. Go to level 2. And the trial is at the bathhouse. We have 3 more trials that we can do, and then the rest of the trials are on the super far end game. damage is just... It's real clean right now. I wish with the Blood Dance boots, how those work is it grants us the frenzy charges, but right now I have enough crits, so I think we're okay on it. But it gives you bonus damage when they're lower on life, like per frenzy charge. I wish it was the other way around. When they're like at high life, so that way when you first hit them, you can get one shots, you know, get that massive amount of damage in. Ooh, nice. Melted. I love having that extra immortal flesh because with Blood Rage and when our rage is deteriorating, we actually take damage now. It's part of the downside. With the upgrade, we lose 0.1% of life per second while you're not losing rage. See, we'll start draining sometimes, and that's no fun. I think we have to go from toxic conduits. We just go on the left side. Actually, there's a few more, and we actually have this. So we will go and grab that extra frenzy charge. What I do like to do sometimes is put in what's called intuitive leap, but it's a little bit more expensive. I'm not going to do it. But what it will allow us to do, if I was to grab it, I can grab this node, which is what I mentioned before. Like I really want this one. So we'll get this, and we will be able to not need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can go from here and just be like, I want this, I want this. You can get all of these. Unfortunately, it's just a little bit short of getting Savagery. You can actually get this Frenzy Charge duration, which doesn't really matter. Because we're expending Frenzy Charges so fast anyways. But yeah, you can put in a jewel here, and then you can just get this 1, 2, 3. It just saves you some skill points, and it's definitely, in my personal opinion, it's worth getting. There's also a few other things you can get, like the Green Dream. It's a cool thing because it can let you dodge attacks, which is something I get on almost every build. And it also grants us frenzy charges on kill, a chance. And then we can basically use like almost whatever weapon, as we will be growing out of our Tiger Sword. It's just the unfortunate part is this weapon that we are using. You can use it to like pretty late in the game, but its numbers just aren't really there for the far end game. You can still do it though, but there's just much better items at that point. Oh, is that a Tormented Soul? No. Div card. Alright, the bathhouse. This is actually where we wanted to go. Alright, so the... well, I guess this is a part of the quest too. There's a spot that we can go to. There's two, I guess, things here. So we get the wings. But more importantly, there's a skill point. And another boss. It's optional. Oh, wait. Did we kill him already? Where is he? I don't even know where he's at. What? Oh. Oh, there he is. He's like, he was just kind of stuck. There we go. Alright.
Boy next door.
Ooh, what did we get? Oh! We got our first map. So whoever's asking about endgame, we don't have access to it yet. There's a hideout right there. But that would be one form of the endgame content. There's like several forms of endgame content, but like generally maps are like the main form. And then you can kind of choose on like what kind of endgame content you want, which I think that's a cool idea. You know, some builds are better at doing things than others, and so choose what you want to do. I'm actually looking forward to getting a 5-link or 6-link armor very soon, and we can throw in inspiration, which will grant us even more crit. Which, that's fine. Our damage is going to be pretty good until I'd say like maps. Like if we struggle a little bit on the bosses, no biggie to me. So we want to make sure we click on this Smuggler's chest or cache. Let's see how fast we can kill this. Wow, that's really fast. We definitely can use way better rings though.
Just in time.
Yugioh is the boss. Reflection of Terror. Ooh, did we just melt him already? Ooh. He has a few, you can't hit me bro phases. There we go.
Yugioh.
And then we can talk to Hard and grab a reward.
In death, the mirrors are thus shattered.
And that will grant us the last skill point.
Goodbye.
And we also can get this is one. Oh, it's Archive. I think Yugioh's one of those small ones. So what Yugioh grants, my bad, the face is blocking. What he grants is you and your minions take 25% reduced reflected damage, which is okay. It's a map modifier that I just usually don't do. You can get reduced reflect. It's actually right here, just in case any of you guys do want to get it. So that's 25%, and you get another 15. Wait, 30, 15, 15. So it's 60, 75%. At that point, yeah, you're getting a pretty decent chunk of reduction. But yeah, damage reflection is a very real thing in this game. If you don't have like immunities, you usually cannot do those. Oh, but there is. Actually, did I get the bathhouse waypoint? It's probably faster if I do. Wait, it's Lunaris Temple. It's where the bathhouse. We're gonna do bathhouse, and there is a trial of ascendancy here. So that's what we want to focus in on. That's what we're gonna do. Grab the silver coins. I bet you it's like somewhere around here. Ooh, there we go. Okay. Oh, this is actually where we need to go. But I want to do this first. and then we'll go back to town. The only area that we haven't really gone to is over here. Here we are. How I do these is I just hit all of them. There could be like a certain like order that it's like faster, but I just hit them all. Okay. Pretty easy. 1 out of 3. Okay. And then we gotta go all the way back over here. Oh. Sometimes what can also happen is your body blocked. Ooh, another level up. And then we get to Frenzy. Yeah, we're gonna grab both of these for now. Some extra life. 60. So we get 4 or 5k life. That's where things feel a little bit more comfortable. On average on PoE, I would recommend it, like, unless you're doing something like specific, you should have at least 5k life, depending on what you have for your health pool. There are builds where you could have like 3k life, but like it's because you're dodge, or you have like insane amounts of resistances or some type of damage reduction via some other method, like energy shield, or you just have something else basically. Or mind over matter, that's another thing that you can get. What mind over matter does is makes it so your mana becomes like part of your HP. I'm gonna swap back to this because now I'm not scared. It's just some of those little Ascendancy puzzles, it's just better to have a potion. Oh. Almost sounded like a Diablo 2 charm that dropped on the ground. But you used to be able to, before they nerfed it, you used to be able to basically whirlwind the full screen. You can still get a pretty big whirlwind, but you used to be able to get like the entire screen. And it was insane. I still feel like whirlwind is just, it's so strong. It's mostly because I play a lot of Flicker Strike, and Flicker Strike just doesn't have the damage. At least that's how I feel. Lunaris Temple is basically the same as the other one. It's just this one's blue, the other one's red. And gotta collect the 2 orbs. And there's actually a pretty cool boss fight that will emerge. Nope. Down here maybe. Okay, make progress. Level 2. Woo. I'll just pop. Whoops. I didn't actually need to click on that, nor did I really want to. but it's no biggie. We're almost fast. We got the Loctonials. We got 2 more of these remaining. I still want that card. That's worth a lot. Maybe we should just do them before. Like I don't know if they have like a certain duration. Like if it was, maybe it was there and I just couldn't buy it and I didn't defer it. Or I wonder if the defer will always like. What are the cards for? Oh, like the these cards. So you'll get a stack of it, and when I have enough, I can show you like what it gives you. But it'll tell you exactly what it gives you, pretty much. Some of it might be a little bit vague, but like it'll be like, for example, this gives us 10x fall orbs. So when we get 6 of these, because it's 1 out of 6, we will get that as a reward. Sometimes some of the things are random. In terms of using them for gambling, I follow like a lot of Path of Exile like content creators. I like to see what they're up to as well. Like, and I also want to see like sometimes doing one thing in one league isn't good, but doing one thing in this league is really good. But some people make videos like there's one called like Jack in the Box, which like it just says put your hand in, get a prize, and it's just a random thing, and people spend lots and lots of currency on it. Like they get like thousands of them and they open them all up for YouTube. And like those are I get excited about those. I like seeing those because I'm like, you know, what is actually in here? And sometimes there's really good items. Sometimes there's nothing. It's kind of luck of the draw. What are the chances? Well, I recommend, his name is MB Extreme. And he does a lot of those gambling things where there is, thousands of something, and sometimes what a streamer will do is like it'll be kind of a collective effort. Like they'll get their whole stream together and be like, all right guys, give me all of these, and then I'll open them up and we'll all split the profits or something like that. Because like if you just have one of something or 100, maybe you need thousands, right? All right, let's grab that. Oh, we are full. We definitely want to pick this up. The other thing is for a quest. Now we get the... Okay. Moon orb. Ooh. Okay, well, rip the chromatic. I'll grab these 2. Even though I plan not to use them. I'm trying to put you guys in a good habit of always getting those. So, now we're going to go deliver one of the items to...
Stay out of the shadows.
Can't even take the thing now. So he also has another jewel that you can get from him. The one I would recommend for Conqueror's Efficiency, there is a replica version of this that's actually really good, and it grants us plus maximum rage, which is something I want. It's an okay one. I mean, you can get on the tree reduction. Like, there's really nothing that's super insane unless you want to try to get like a huge amount of dodge, or most of the stuff that's not very like powerful, I would say.
Good luck to you.
All right. Oh, we need to get a reward. That's
Still breathing, eh?
yes. I want the other one, the Yugioh reward. Okay.
Stay out of the shadow.
Now we got that. We have an additional frenzy charge. So a frenzy charge is 4 or 5% more damage. And it's something I want to explain. Let me actually show you guys what a frenzy charge does, as it's kind of important. As now that you can kind of see like what it has done for us. What it does actually grant us is extra attack speed, but there's actually more damage. So it's 4% increased attack speed, 4% cast speed, which cast speed doesn't really help our character. It's basically extra attack speed, which we're going to have like over 100% bonus attack speed. So I mean, any amount is good in PoE. There's not, like in Diablo 3, once you go past like 2 attacks per second, you get insane diminishing returns. But in this game, you really don't have that. But there's 4% more damage per frenzy charge, which is actually a nice little thing to have. And you can also start scaling when you have more frenzy charges. You can get like bonus damage per frenzy charge, but it'll be like, usually it's cold damage, but you can modify cold to become something else. But now that we've done this, we're gonna actually go to the area where we will be able to actually, is it? I don't think it's here. I think it's this side. Let me see. Oh, another 6 socket. Nice. Oh, it might be actually this way. Oh. Kind of stuck over here. There we go. The Harbor Bridge. I believe this is it. Yes. So. Oh, I didn't bother grabbing the reward for it. So it's gonna still show up. But we've done. Yeah, we did the Love is Dead, which was the one where there's a little zombie guy. The Reflection of Terror, which is Yugioh, and the Gemling Legion. So we did all the skill quests, and we did the fire trap in the bathhouse. So that's pretty much all that you do over here. And now we're gonna go in the middle to the Sky Shrine. We come up to a pretty cool boss fight. Kill Solaris and Lunaris. You can see them fight each other. It looks really cool. It was one of my favorite looking boss fights. Oh, that's a big amount of damage. We have a decent amount of lifesteal though. We have like knockback on one of these, which I actually don't really like having, to be honest. But we will get eventually a huge damage boost with a flask called Lion's Roar. But I mean, I can afford it right now, I think. Let me actually double check how much it costs. I'll show you what it does.
And pass beyond this human age.
While he's talking, because. Yeah.
Sun and moon.
What? It's 2. I'm sorry.
Highgate lies ahead.
Oh, we could buy it like right now. It only costs 2 chaos? Why? Some leagues, certain things are like way cheaper. Like I was thinking like 10, and I was like, well, we should try to focus on getting a 6 link first. But if it's only 2, like we can get it right now. So let me show you what it does. I was just super shocked that it was that cheap. If I was to guess at low, I would have said like 10 or 20. But yeah, what it does, it grants you more melee physical damage. It also causes enemies to get knockback, which I honestly I don't really like that effect. And you can get an item that makes so the knockback direction is actually reversed, but the most important thing with it is it grants you more melee damage. With more melee damage, or anything with more in the text, is different than regular damage. More is a multiplicative versus an additive, to kind of explain what the difference between, because if you're wondering what's the difference. Additive means it adds that damage to whatever your like damage pool is, whereas multiplicative, it multiplies it, so it's better. Basically, that's the best way to explain it. So the only problem that I have really is getting hit by bosses. I'm going to select the Solaris, is what I usually like to grab. The other one grants you more damage reduction when there's more enemies, which most people really only have troubles in PoE when it comes down to bosses. But for this league, since there can be multiple bosses at once, that could be something to take into consideration. But extra physical damage reduction is definitely what we want, as we have this, which makes us take 45% more damage, which is huge. So now we're going to the Blood Aqueduct. And we are in Act 9. But let's get to the town first. And since this one was a little bit shorter, I will show you guys some of the more other mechanics that I didn't get to show off. But we'll get to the town first. Woo! Look at, oh my, jeez, we are going so fast. And once we get this item called Headhunter, it's gonna go even faster. I feel like we're going so much faster. I don't know why though. I didn't get anything new. I didn't touch a shrine. Oops. It's that one extra frenzy charge, Kappa. Woo. Well, 61. There, what are we, 64? Okay. Yeah, we breezed through that act very fast. Woo! All the popping. Ooh, look, it's like fireworks. Then this is all from like Rampage, some specials. Woo! Tabula Rasa. When we get 9 of those, we get an armor that's like one of the best leveling armors in the game. Some people use it towards like endgame. They can perfectly do it. For me, I never liked Tabula. For leveling, like it's great, but I could just buy a ribbon spool for like less than half the price, and it does more. It requires 17 intelligence, and they're not white sockets, but like you can just buy the colors that you need.
Warm nights.
Okay, so we've got another skill point available. I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm gonna grab this, as we will get more and more negative resistances as we start finishing up the game, and this is definitely gonna be outclassed. But our talisman is actually really good. I could use this for like a while longer too.
Let me tell you.
Alright, so now the next thing that we're going to do, since we finished the act in under an hour, we got all the skill quests done, what I want to do now is actually do the rogue, wait, I think we got this in Act 7, but anyways, we're doing it now. So what we're going to do is use these rogues marker, and I'm going to show you what a heist is. It was the last league mechanic, and this one is the ritual. That's the little like thing we clicked on. But I want to show you what this does. I'm going to actually clean up this entire inventory really quick, just so we're not cluttered at all when we do this. I have a lot of junk, to be honest, but I probably should have a healing potion, but I'm going to do it without it because I feel cooler doing it without it. I'm just gonna throw like I want everything to be super clean here. I can't actually move this because it's a skill. It's a quest that I didn't complete, and I don't think it really grants us anything. We could complete it, just so it moves it out of the way because we actually can't get rid of it. But we use this to the cards, and I'm just basically gonna dump these. If you guys don't have the card stash tab, don't worry. Like I mentioned before, like these are some things that I purchased, but it doesn't change up your gameplay. You just throw it in whatever area that you have room. So we have all these little contracts that we won't complete all of them, but we'll complete some of them. I also have this map stash tab that again you won't have either, but all it does is it organizes it by number. It is very nice to have, but it doesn't. It's not a pay to win or anything. It's just convenience for stash. And if you do like the game, I would recommend. The only thing that I think is really important is specifically this currency one. If you're choosing one, the currency one is nice. The map one is nice too. I think the most important ones are the currency stash tab and the map one. You could just not mess with the cards and just keep the good ones, or you can keep one specific tab for them if you would like to do that as well. But now let's go ahead and do this after I throw this in here. Now we're good. So with the rogue markers, we're going to right click on it, and you'll see it's going to open up a special portal. You're going to go in the portal, and we're going to do some heists. There's a lot of talking, and you have to like basically level up these mercenaries for very specific things. If you want to let all the text go by, like I mentioned before, like feel free to do it. But I'm just here to show you guys the gameplay.
Stay safe.
See you, mate.
Stay out of trouble.
Alright, take contract. So this one's only 45. So then we have to basically talk to all the people. And then now this guy will be our lock picker. I'm not sure if we can do the higher one now. So we are going to prepare a heist. So we're going to have to put one in here. So I'm going to do the highest level that I have. So this is a blueprint, which is, I think, different. If I remember correct. Yeah, okay. So we can't just throw this in here. Oh, there we go. Can we do this one?
Get in my way.
So certain team members will be able to do a certain thing during the heist. And we'll basically kind of explain it as we go in. I mean, they all kind of do the same thing, which is it gets you across.
Forgot to tell you.
Opens up a path.
That's on this job. By Mark. He's an absolute nut.
So we have to steal an item. There's an alert level, and if you open up, you can see we got some stuff. The rewards on these are actually usually pretty good. One thing to be careful, do not walk through the lasers. You actually have to use his ability. So I'm going to click right here, and he will do his little ability. Try not to use Flicker Strike on all the areas, because what will happen is you will die.
Yeah.
So yeah, now that these are gone, so what you try to do is open up the chest that you want to open up. Like they'll have a little icon, like this one is the essences, this one's an armor one, these are just chests. Some of them won't have anything. I usually just, you can just pick up stuff until you're full, but some of the things are kind of tough in here. Like the guard one can be a little bit tough. I mean, you can still take it out. I'm going to take it out. But you can see, it doesn't go down very easy. Axiom. This is actually a pretty good item. Can I identify it here? I don't think you can identify it till, yeah. Oh, important thing. Right now, if we die, we're fine because the alert level's not up. But if we die and the alert level's maxed out, that's it. You just lose everything. Ooh, Fall Clarity. And we're gonna pick up the Vol items. This is another superior item. I like to pick up all the superior ones. Eventually, I'll show you what you can do with it, but it requires a lot of them.
Ready yourself for combat.
Alteration. So all this stuff is considered contraband. You can't really interact with it till later, after you like escape successfully. So regular one? Okay. There are some gems that are modified. There's another superior. Oh, there's actually 3 superior. Just make sure we still have item to pick up the item we have to steal. So you can see that the person's going in here. It used to be a lot more difficult. They've really made... Sometimes it would get buggy. So sometimes there will be items that you can pick which one you want to steal at the very end on some of like the more like difficult ones. So what you want to do is try not to fight things, because sometimes it's probably have changed since then, but you want to be careful if there is like a trap set up over here. Make sure you use the ability of the your teammate's ability. Like this one can go through the lasers. One of them can like charge through walls, and they all there's a bunch of different abilities. Oh, this one unfortunately doesn't lead to anything. Go this way. But the key is to not get hit by lasers, or there's these mines on the ground. I don't think this heist is going to have the mines on the ground, but those are what's going to get you killed. I recommend not fighting, as sometimes, well, things might have changed. They've definitely made it a lot easier. There were no jokes. So many times in the first week, so many people were uploading videos of like them dying in hardcore. It's like they record a bunch of the streamers dying.
But it was bloody worth it.
And like you'll go to a door, and if you try to fight, there's so many enemies. They'll all just hit you like at once, and it feels like an impossible like scenario. Like no matter what, you'll just die. But it's probably gotten a lot easier. Like that was definitely unfair. But we got some items. We have the Torch Oak Step. These are some greaves. So totems reflect their damage. Okay. I'm not sure if this is worth anything. Axiom, I know this is a good item. It's a really good item for leveling up. So it just adds a bunch of small damage. It's, again, I said leveling up item. What it just adds is damage to a bunch of different elements to spells. And it's only for level like 10. So Axiom's not going to be worth anything. But I can throw it in my Torch Oak Step. I don't think this is worth anything, but again, you never know. It is not worth anything. These boots, I'm pretty sure, are also not worth anything. They're Dusk Toe. They add some chaos damage, chaos resistance during a flask effect, increased armor and evasion, and some live. I mean, for leveling, like probably, but I don't see value in these, at least to my knowledge, in terms of like, is it worth a lot of currency? The answer is no. So like I can, like they're selling for like 1 alch each. This item I'm going to put in my guild stash, just so if any fellow guild member would like to use this, it's a great leveling item. I throw that in there, and then we can go to this person. This is actually important for the mechanic. So when you steal the item, you want to go give it to him, and he will give you what's called Rogue's Marker. So this is like you pay your teammates in Rogue Markers. And so this is one way to recuperate the funds of this so you can continue to do these. But you also still happen to need the contract. You can buy and trade these with players. Are these worth doing? I think it's a really fun way of doing endgame. The reason why I personally like it is there's a huge risk. Because if you die, you lose out on everything, right? If you steal the item and you're trying to leave, you die, that's it. It's locked. All the items, all these uniques would be completely gone. And what makes it really exciting is when you get something really good and you're like, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. Obviously these, like, I didn't actually know what this one was, but I know that the other one was Axiom, and like that's not worth anything, but whatever. We also can get some Alch shards. Like both of these, like 20 Alch shards equals 1 orb of alchemy. These I could try to sell for 1, but for me it's a waste of time. I'd rather just get half of an Alch shard, get some alterations, and it's worth it for me. Other than like trying to hoard items. Sometimes though, like there are very specific items that if it rolls like perfect on every single stat, it can be worth something for the right person that might give you like a chaos for it if it's worth on Alch. Like there are some items that are worth it, but generally for me, I don't do it. I don't know if we have enough. Do we have enough superior gems? We might actually have enough superior gems to show off this mechanic. As I wanted to show off this since we have a little bit more time in this one, so I'm gonna go sell items. Okay, so once you reach a certain threshold, you'll be able to get a Gem Cutter's Prism. So let me see what it is. I believe it's, okay. So I believe it's, let's see, is that 16, 18? I believe it's like 40. I'm actually have to double check on this. So the Gem Cutter's Prism, to give you the exact number for the vendor recipe. Oh, where's the Gem Cutter's Prism? I'll actually put this. Actually, let me show you this. Let me pop this up on the screen. So for the Gem Cutter's Prism, let me look for this one. If it's going to show it here, use Control F. Gem. Oh, if I spell. Is it one word? Okay, so quality items. So here it is. Several. Okay, so if you have 20% quality of an item, that will give you one of these. So that's why you keep the quality items. But if you have several items that you're putting in, it needs to total add up into that 40% quality. You can just slam a lot into one. So what you want to try to do is not go really too much over 40%. So ideally what you would try to do is add up the numbers like in your head in order to reach the exact amount. So for example, shoot, I should have my calculator. Anyways, 14 plus 11, that's what, 25. You get the idea. You add it up to 40, you get one of these. Do I actually want one of these? Clarity. Ice Nova. I actually want to use this one. Do you have another one? Throw in, just so I can like show off the example. Okay. Let's do this. Bam. All I want is that. And if it goes like way too over, then you'll notice you'll get these fragments. You can remove. Okay, that one. That's 40. I don't know. Whatever. I'll just do it. I'll probably end up linking it if I remember. But you can just type in Path of Exile. Vendor recipes is the correct term. I'll try to remember to put it, but sometimes I forget, I'll be honest. But I also want to throw in the Ice Nova because Vol Ice Nova looks super, super cool. And we will definitely use it in our next part of our little playthrough here. But yeah, that's the mechanic for the Heist League if you wanted to participate in it. The reason why I like it, though, again, is more so that because you can die and you can lose out on things. And if you want to go right back into, your act, you can just talk to this guy. I think you can actually keep a portal in unless this has changed. Oh, no, you can't actually use a portal. Well, I guess you can talk to him and you can go back. It only costs 1 to go in, so it doesn't really cost anything. It's just so that, I guess you can't just spam it for I don't know what reason. They just made it so you can't just, at any point from your waypoint, you can't just warp in. I just don't get that idea. I think that's because they want you to have markers to be able to like do it, but like if I do this, I can just waste them. I don't know what the point of like not being able to just warp in at any point via this. I guess they want you to waste an inventory slot too. You can have 50,000, but like you still have to have it in your inventory. Again, I just think it could have been much easier. There's probably some reason why they did that. But anyways, that's going to go ahead and wrap things up for this part of our playthrough. Since we are level 64, I actually want to end it off with doing a little bit of research, since again this part was a little bit shorter than the other ones. What I want to do is look up a new chest piece. So, or we can check. Sometimes you never know. You never know if someone's selling something for super cheap. Sometimes you can get lucky. People, sometimes they just want to get rid of something. Sometimes they misprice it too, but it's usually like, you know, it'll be like 6 of like the wrong currency or like a certain amount. So we're going to go for a 6-linked Terminus S, which is the sword that we have. I want a 6-link one. You'll see that these, the lowest one is 2 exalts. Okay. This is probably not happening right now. If I can get a 5-link one, this would actually still be pretty good because I can modify Cyclone. 2? Wow, these are... What? 2? That's pretty good. It's pretty bad DPS though, and the crit's not bad. Anything over like 8.5 and up is pretty decent. But oh, to answer your question about the divination cards, can they give you something good? Yeah, I mean it depends on the div card, and there's a lot of them that will have random ones. But in terms of it being worth it for gambling, some people have gotten good results. Even with like thousands of results, it's kind of, I would say, up in the air. Because like you get one really good item and it automatically just like destroys the rest of like the results, if that makes any sense. But let's go ahead. So since we can't get a 6-linked Terminus S right now, which is totally fine, what I'd really like to get is body armors that are 6-link. So right now, 3 reds, let's say, I need 1 blue and at least 1, let me see, is it 1 green? Yeah, I need at least 1 green. I could use Impale as well, but let's just do this for now. So this way the other color can be one or the other. It doesn't really matter, but it needs to have at least 3 red because I want, I need multi-strike, rage support, and melee splash is like important. So we're gonna go search for the body armor, and I want to actually put this in maximum currency chaos orb 10. And we can see if, what, 1 for a 6-link? Wait, what? This is like too good of a deal. And it has, what? Hold on, I feel like this is fake news. 900 armor too. It's like good for 1 chaos. Get it. Go. Sometimes I don't know what that is. Okay, that's way underpriced. Like usually you can get like a pretty decent one for under 10, but ideally you can see like these ones are just giving shield. Ideally I would want to get something that has like some armor and some evasion. Like this is a pretty like okay-ish one. They're all going to be corrupted for the most part because that's like how these are being sold at such a cheap rate. This one has some armor, some evasion. In fact, it has like kind of what I want. 6 life is a little bit low. Ideally you want like what I would try to search for, since there's like actually a lot. If there's not a lot of items, then like you're kind of out of luck sometimes and you have to refine your search. But like for example, since there's a lot, I want it to have life, and let's say I want at least 300 armor and 300 evasion. What's our current one? Actually, it's like 1k. It's like 700. Okay. So now we can see only like 4 results. So what's the most life? If I click on this, it's going to sort them by life. 70 life is pretty good. 300, I don't really like that amount of stats on it. Like that, if it was like 600, like this one over here, but it has 70 life, that's something I would consider. I know this one doesn't grant us life, but this one does grant us, what is it? What does this one do? Oh, we get an endurance charge when we take a critical strike, and share endurance charge, regen if you have been hit. It's okay, like it does give stats, but the most important thing is that it's granting us 70 life and that ally resistance. And so like I don't really want to lose out on too many stats here. So maybe I will wait to pick this up and I'll just get like the Lion's Roar for our next part. But I'm going to leave this on a tab, and like while I'm like doing something, maybe I'm like playing another game, I just like refresh once in a while. Like you can just hit enter, it'll refresh it, and you'll be able to find more people that have some items. But anyways, that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for this part of our PoE playthrough with the little tutorial guide. And next time we'll get Lion's Roar. It's like 2 chaos. It's really good. It will significantly increase our damage. It is also a granite flask, which will grant us a lot more armor as well. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.